Welcome back to another episode of Citizen Sports Talk. My name is Caden Reinhardt, joined here with Jacob Smith. Another exciting week of varsity football is past us. Jacob, you want to get us started talking about some of these games here we had tonight?
I think we have to start with the Three Rivers District matchup in Stewart and Patrick County tonight. The Floyd County Buffaloes traveling to take on the Patrick County Cougars. Floyd County looking to start 5-0 for the first time since 2008. And for those keeping track of the history of the Floyd County Buffaloes football program, that was the last time they made the state championship. So maybe we'll see a trend at history here repeating itself this year in 2025. But the Buffaloes taking on the 2-3 Cougars, who coming off a 24-8 loss at Carroll County. We did confirm the score from that game. It got lightning delayed, and we did not have a score update by the time we filmed this episode last week. Carroll County got the win last week. They moved to 4-1. But jumping back to Patrick County, they were going into the game tonight 2-3. Both teams had a lot to play for. Patrick County is still looking for their first district win. Floyd County is looking to stay undefeated. But right away from the get-go, Max Harris starts the ball game with a 95-yard kick return touchdown. Phenomenal way to start the ball game. And special teams was kind of a theme for the Buffaloes' key to victory tonight. They had a blocked field goal, or they forced a blocked field goal by Eric Martinez Tejeda, the kicker for the Cougars. He went 0 for 2 on field goal attempts in the second half, and the Buffaloes offense was just able to get the ball rolling. They had a 14-0 start. Patrick County got 2 touchdowns on the board late, but Floyd County able to force the shutout in the second half. And Floyd County was able to pull away with a 21-14 win over the Cougars. They improved to 5-0 for the first time since 2008, and I actually got a chance to talk with Coach Cromer and a few of our members of our Buffaloes football team this week. I talked with Coach Cromer, the head coach, Coach Allen, the defensive coordinator, quarterback Sam Phillips, and wingback Max Harris. And I don't think you could ask for 4 individuals that didn't serve much more importance than those 4. You know, the defense with the shutout in the second half. Obviously, we got to interview the head guy that's in charge of everything. Sam Phillips had 2 rushing touchdowns, and of course, we had to ask Max Harris about the big kick return touchdown to start the game. So here's a look at the post-game interviews from Stewart.
All right, so talking with 2 of the guys, big contributors tonight. Sam Phillips with 2 rushing touchdowns. Max Harris with a big kick return. Opening play of the game. Max, if you want to start first, what was going through your head when you had that big touchdown?
Really nothing much. I just thought it was just going to be a normal kickoff return. I didn't think I'd get all the way down, but I went through and I saw a lane. I saw number 15. He was kind of on the ground, so I cut it up, and then I only had one person left to go. And after I got by him, it was just free roam, and I made it all the way.
And you were kind of all over the field. I was doing the broadcast with the WHEO here in Stewart, and you were all over the place offensively, defensively. What does that say about your skill set and the ability that your teammates have allowed you to have in the performance tonight?
I just feel like they trust me to do some stuff. They just always they know I can make it, so they can trust me more.
And Sam, me and Kaden got to talk to you last week. You get the backup of performance from week 4 again with 2 rushing touchdowns, one of them to give you guys a lead, the only touchdown in the second half. What does that say not only about your performance but the team offensively as a whole?
It just means a lot. I mean, we're getting off the ball. We're slow to start. I mean, Max with that touchdown to start the game off is just huge momentum for us. Made them slow down. They wanted to give up at the beginning, we could tell. But, I mean, we wanted to win. We just had a lot of guys with heart, and we were able to score, and we were able to stay on both sides, get off the ball, and keep them stopped. So that's what we want.
And something else, I don't know if you guys knew this, but your team is the first Floyd County team since 2008 to start the season 5-0. What does that say to your guys' leadership and the team that you have around you? We'll start with Max.
I think it's up to Coach Cromer. I think he's done a lot for us. He's teaching us well.
Yeah, it just means a lot. It means we want it. I mean, we're showing up every day. We're at practice. We're putting in work. I mean, for us to go 5-0 for that long, it just shows that the amount of talent and amount of heart we got into this team. We ain't got a lot of people, but we have heart. We have quality. That's what matters.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, so joining me now is Coach Cromer and Coach Allen, the new defensive coordinator for the Buffaloes this year. We'll start with you, Coach. Special teams was a big factor in this game. 2 missed field goals, one of them blocked late in the second half by your defense. The kick return by Max Harris to start the game. What does that say about the most underestimated element in the special teams?
Our kids pay attention to it. Actually, I think Gabe tipped the other field goal that we missed. So, just little things. We have to win a complete game. Offensively, we've been very productive the last 4 weeks. And tonight we had to rely on our defense, rely on special teams, just to get a complete win. This guy right here made a great halftime adjustment. We changed our coverages. And the kids responded. It was great. We needed to see this type of adversity. We're not going to win them all. Patrick County, very good football team, very physical. Kids play hard. It was a big win for us.
I think bouncing off of what you just said, the most physical game that y'all played this year, what does that say, this being the first district game, what you have in store the next 5 games?
Well, I just think each team is going to be a little bit different, and we regroup and go. And, I don't know, just proud of, our kids. And it was a tough physical game. And we shut them out in the second half, which I know it's kind of obvious, but – we answered. I don't even know if they got past midfield second half. So great job.
And going to you now, Coach Allen, talking about the shutout in the second half. Patrick County scored 2 touchdowns late in the first half. What was the adjustment that you were able to make with your defensive guys, and how were they able to execute it in the second half?
The biggest thing was they were just so tough. They would get in different personnel packages, different formations, and based on our game plan, we had all these different adjustments to coverages and stuff, and we just had to simplify. Let the kids simplify, play fast, got to the football. We made some plays. Gabe Hullett isn't even starting corner. Goes in and gets an interception to seal the game, give our offense the ball back. Just proud of the kids and how they responded. We went to something we really haven't ran yet. And that just tells how smart our kids are and how football savvy they are. They can make plays like that on the fly.
Thanks, guys. Good luck against Martinsville.
Appreciate you. Go Buffaloes.
Coming back, of course, thank you to Coach Cromer and everyone that I got to talk to post-game, of course. Definitely looking forward to doing that some more here with the Citizen Sports Talk. But looking around the region, Patrick County, of course, the 21-14 loss against Floyd County. Glenver, they were on a little bit of upset alert early. They were trailing 12-0 against Carroll County in Salem, but were able to come away with a 44-19 victory. They moved to 6-0 on the year, and that Week 11 matchup is 1 week more interesting. 5-0 and 6-0 currently. It's going to be a battle Week 11 between the Highlanders and the Buffaloes. I'm looking forward to that one, but we still got 4 more weeks in between tonight and that Week 11 matchup. Radford played a non-district game tonight. They traveled to William Byrd. Byrd won 35-7, so Radford drops to 3-2 on the year. James River and Martinsville was a little bit of a back-and-forth game. James River had the lead early. Martinsville came back and took the lead late, but James River was able to come away with the win, 35-34. Nelson County, the Governors, got their first last week against Alta Vista and the Colonels last week. 56-12, they defeated William Campbell in a redemption win this week. Appomattox and Chatham took each other on. Appomattox came away with the win 62-13 over the Cavaliers, and Dan River lost to Alta Vista 65-14. And Alta Vista coming away with 2 back-to-back Dogwood District wins over 2A schools. Looking at the region for Carroll County, that was the region for Floyd County, I should say. Region 3D had a few interesting games. Of course, we already mentioned the Carroll County game. Glenver ended up winning that one 44-19. Carroll County drops to 4-2 on the year with their bye week coming up next week. So they'll be 4-2 when they come to Floyd in 2 weeks from now, which will be a very interesting one. We'll be here, or we'll be at Coach Bill Field rather, on the call there. Definitely an exciting one. We'll probably preview that one a little bit next week. But Cave Spring able to get their second straight win this week, 15-12 over Blacksburg, and a little bit of an upset win there. Christiansburg got their first win this week as well, coming off the bye, taking down Pulaski County 34-31. Hidden Valley, Lord Botetourt, Stanton River, and Magna Vista all had bye weeks this week. Admington, the Falcons took on Johnson County. They defeated Johnson County 45-22, so Admington gets their first win in their last 4 games. Bassett defeated Tunstall 63-6, took care of business, and Bassett is currently 4-2 with their 4th straight win. As we mentioned earlier, William Byrd with that 35-7 win against Radford coming off their bye week last week. And then we're still awaiting the results from the Northside game against Rappahannock. But that's really all the updates I have for you with football, Caden.
Alrighty, so it was, like I said, an exciting week again upon us. So we're going to take a short break. Once we come back, we'll preview some other sports here from Floyd and Carroll, and then get us on to the week upon us next week. You're here on CCTV, Channel 20, watching Citizen Sports Talk.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to Citizen Sports Talk here. Jacob Smith with Caden Reinhardt. And, you know, we've talked big about the football this week. Let's talk about some other sports this week. First, looking at volleyball, the Lady Buffs taking their 4th straight loss. They traveled to Glenver on Tuesday, lost in 3 sets to the Highlanders. Their record now 4-8 on the year. They were sitting at that 4-5 mark rather. 4-4. I read that wrong for a second. So 4th straight loss. Once they're kind of getting into the district play, definitely facing some tougher teams. Just looking at the region standings right now, I know Radford, Glenver, James River, even Patrick are all good teams in the region for volleyball play, and those are 4 district teams that the Lady Buffs have to play twice in the season. The Lady Buffs only had that 1 game on Tuesday against the Highlanders, and then for Carroll County, the Lady Cavaliers volleyball, they played James River on Tuesday. They lost in 3 sets, and then played Patrick County on Thursday and won in 5 sets, 3-2. And they improved their record to 12-6 on the year. And Caden, I believe you had an update with us for golf, and sub-regionals was this week, correct?
Yes, sub-regionals it was earlier Monday of this week, and of course heading in the Buffaloes, their amazing regular season finished 64-1 overall record. But even with that record, Great Oaks seemed to be a little bit of a shaky course for them for some reason earlier in the year. Out of their first, I believe it was 8 matches, they had 2 scores over 300. Everything else was in the 200s. One of those was at Great Oaks. So it almost kind of posed a little bit of maybe a slight doubt just kind of going into it. But that doubt was wiped away. The Buffaloes handled business. They shot the best score ever under the helm with head coach Dirk Davis, 288. That's an even par at Great Oaks. I'll run down the top 4 scores real quick. It was Peyton Mason with a 68, Isaiah Cantrell 71, Jonathan Whitlow 72, and Garrett Vest 77 for, again, the combined 288. Just an outstanding showing for them, taking down the sub-regional. Now they move on to the regional at Appomattox Falling River Country Club. That is a week after the sub-regional. That'll be on the 6th of Monday.
I think this is the time of year where, just the postseason volleyball is getting ready to come up. We'll see if the Lady Buffs can get into the playoffs for volleyball. But definitely the golf postseason starts a little bit earlier than all the other fall sports. So definitely some excitement building there and seeing what the varsity golf team can do with the expectations that have been set for them already.
I think that they have a tremendous road ahead of them for these last couple matches.
Yep, and we're excited to see how things go for them. So I believe you also had the upcoming schedules for us for Floyd County and Carroll County athletics next week?
Yeah, so next week we'll start with the Cavaliers on Monday the 6th. They have their own golf varsity match that is at Draper. That is their regional. And then as well, their volleyball middle school team at 4:30 will be traveling to Scott Memorial Middle School for a match there. And then the day after, Tuesday the 7th, their JV and varsity volleyball teams will be traveling to Glenver for matches there. And then Wednesday the 8th, a short week for the Cavaliers, finishing with a volleyball middle school match at Radford. Moving on to the Buffaloes, this weekend they have some action. That is tomorrow the 4th, cross country, both boys and girls traveling to Salem for matches against multiple schools. A nice meet for them. Monday the 6th for the Buffaloes, like I mentioned, their regional match, as well as a volleyball three-peat. Got a little bit of traveling though. Not traveling, different opponents. All at home, except middle school will be playing Pulaski, and then JV varsity William Fleming is their matchup. Tuesday the 7th, volleyball, the three-peat, they'll be traveling all together towards Patrick to take on the Cougars. And then wrapping up the week for them on Thursday will be another volleyball three-peat at Martinsville with their middle school football and JV teams dragging along with them to compete alongside them.
Definitely a busy week as always. Something that we kind of forgot to note, but kind of a big deal. Talking about middle school, we don't really talk about too much middle school and JV athletics here on Citizen Sports Talk, but definitely important to note. If Floyd County for middle school gets the win this week with the football game on Thursday, this will be the second year in the row they had the undefeated season. Don't know how many people know I help with the coaching staff for middle school, so definitely exciting for the kids to have that opportunity for the second year in a row. But of course, got to get the job done on Thursday. So that's really all I have based on what you read off. Like I said, busy week, and we'll have plenty to update for you guys next week, especially the Buffaloes traveling to Martinsville to take on the Bulldogs in their fourth and final road game of this 4-game road stand. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Jacob Smith, Caden Reinhardt, you're watching Citizen Sports Talk. Have a great rest of your weekend, ladies and gentlemen.